always happens when I'm trying to spread the goodness about the vagina. So I'm back with this live. I'm just going to start all over again, and we're just going to start it from here. Everything's good. So in my previous live, I was talking about the topic of it's not you, it's your vagina. A lot of times, a lot of the calls that I get, a lot of the emails that I get whenever I talk about the vagina, typically it's a very sensitive topic, but people are so okay with talking about it with me because I've opened that door where you don't have to feel like this is a judgment zone. Like I'm going to say, oh my gosh, you're probably like dirty. You're not taking care of yourself. I have never been one of those people. Why? Because I know how the vagina works and I know what it can and can't do. I hate my phone, but I'm trying to. It talks about the acidity and the alkalinity of anything. So the pH scale is universal scale. Most times people think that the vagina, so the normal pH of the vagina is somewhere between 3.8 and 4.5. A lot of you didn't know that the vagina actually has a normal range of pH. Now when your pH is thrown off or there's a pH imbalance, then that means that you are more on the higher part of the pH scale. If you've heard of the pH scale, put a 1 in the chat. If you've never heard of the pH scale, don't put anything in the chat. I just want to see who understands that there is actually something called the pH of the vagina, the pH of relaxer, the pH over into the other live and let people know that I'm on this live because YouTube cut me off. So I didn't have a choice but to come over and start another live. Time, the normal or natural pH of the vagina is 3.8 to 4.5 on the pH scale. The pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. Okay? So the pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. Can you guys hear me better? If you can hear me better, put a 1 in the chat for me, please. YouTube is not being my friend when I talk about things like this. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, good. So like I said, the pH scale ranges from the number 0 being the lowest to the number 14 being the highest. The vagina, as I repeat for the 13th time because YouTube is not my friend today, is a 3.8 to 4.5 on the pH scale. Now, does that mean that if you're a 4, something's wrong? No. Like in this, anything over a 7, that is telling you that it's not feeling well. A lot of people don't know that the vagina can tell you that it's not feeling well. It can easily tell you. So during our reproductive system, right? During reproduction, which is typically between the age of 15 and 50, the vagina pH should be anywhere under a 4.5. 3.8 to 4.5 is a good range, but the vagina pH should be anywhere under 4.5, and that's good. Anything above 4.5 doesn't necessarily mean that the vajayjay is not healthy, but it means that you're trickling in very murky water. So you want to be able, or you want to be careful with the things that you put near the vagina. It's a very sensitive part of your body, you know. A lot of people don't know how sensitive that area is, not because you have rough sex. That means that that area can withstand anything, and you can wear anything, and you can do anything. The most toxic things to the vagina. So God created us, okay? He created us with our own parts, vagina, penis, okay? But there is a, what's the word? A swimmer that comes out of the penis known as the sperm. Sperm is actually very toxic to the vagina, but it's very healthy to the reproductive system. So there's a yin and a yang to every single thing. I tell people this all the time. As crazy as it sounds, there is a yin and a yang to sperm. It is actually one of the least favorite things that the vagina likes. Why? Because your partner's pH can be thrown off and they don't know. And we as women who have the input and they have the output They feel nothing unless they have some sort of sexually transmitted disease, right? We as women feel everything. And because our body already has so many things going on, the little swimmers come on in and they come to fertilize the egg, right? But before they even get to fertilizing the egg, they're flourishing in your vajayjay. They're flourishing from a piece of outer skin that is touching your inner skin. So it can throw us off really, really easy. And I know that was kind of like real out there, but it's a fact. Have you ever heard of a woman being allergic to semen? Has anyone ever heard of a woman being allergic to semen? I have. I have. And when I say allergic to semen, I don't mean that they're going to break out in hives. I don't mean that your vagina's going to puff up. I don't mean anything like that. But you can have an allergic or allergy reaction to semen. And you know what the allergy or allergic reaction is to semen? BV, yeast, that fishy odor. All of this can come from semen all on its own. And it's not to say that, oh my gosh, I should never have sex. But unfortunately, that's just the body's way of reacting. And it's not in all women, it's only in some. Some women, if your pH is already high, and then you go and introduce yourself to things like polyester, rayon, synthetic cotton blends that they make now because they're running out of cotton, right? 2% polyester, 98% cotton underwear. Spandex clothing that makes the area sweat. What's another one? Condoms, which is like latex, okay? Some people have a latex allergy and don't even know they have a latex allergy. And it doesn't have to be severe. It can come in the form of BV. It can come in the form of yeast. It can come in the form of so many different things. So this is why I tell people your vagina is its own person. It has its own feelings. It has its own allergic reactions. It has its own defense mechanism. Your vagina, just because your outer body is not allergic, to polyester, doesn't mean that the vagina isn't. Its own. It has any other part adult like, because this is an adult type video, right? If your partner likes to spit in your area, be careful of that spit. Who can tell me why I said be careful of that spit? Who can tell me why I said that? And we're doing this live, you guys, so I want to see. Bacteria. Okay. So we're on the same page because your spit carries your DNA, okay? It also carries the bacteria in your mouth. So while it's extremely sexy, while it makes, oh man, it's a turn on during your sex life, if your partner hadn't brushed their teeth all day before they started doing that, best believe that there is bacteria in their mouth, and they have now placed that bacteria inside of your vagina. So like I said, okay, the vajayjay is its own person. It might not like that level of bacteria. It might be a little bit too much for it to handle at that point. I know some of y'all are sitting there like, whoa, ew, okay? But when you're in the heat of the moment, what can you do? What can you say? Don't do that. You're not thinking of this. But in common sense terms, in real life terms, you're like, wait a second, that made a lot of sense. Okay? So there's different things that go on during our everyday lives. Every single day of our life. Okay? Every single day of our life. It's just regular things that you are doing. not knowing that your vajayjay does not like it, and it will throw off your pH balance. Can you test the pH of the vagina? Yes. Is it going to give you the number of that pH? No. But you can use wow, let me see which one is a good one to say. You can use, I think it called it lithium paper or litmus paper or something like that. One of those papers, you can use that. They have the little tester kits for ketosis. A lot of people use. You can use that. You can also use our vaginal self-test kit. It doesn't tell you the number. It just tells you if the vajayjay is happy or sad. It all works as a part of pH. It's working off of the pH. That's why you're taking some of the flora from the vagina and rubbing it on the actual test strip. So that's another way that you can test your vagina. It's not going to give you the number, but it will give you some of the pH. Hey, Kat. We're talking about vaginas. Kat loves these conversations. So the vajayjay has its own mind, you guys. Okay? Its own mind. Do you know that if your partner and you have been active for years, months, days, weeks, whatever, the vajayjay learns the level of bacteria that is coming from your partner. It's no different from when you take your child to daycare and your child has to come back with a series of different colds and ailments because it has been introduced to another environment where there is a ton of different types of bacteria, right? Bacteria is around us in everything that we do. So now you and your partner who have been having intercourse for a year, you haven't touched anyone else, your vajayjay knows nothing but your partner's bacteria. If your partner decides to take their part and use it on someone else, they now have brought in another person's bacteria and put that bacteria with your bacteria. That is another simple way for your pH to be thrown off. Now, I don't want y'all to go take what I just said and go tell your partner if you have a little itch that it's their fault. That is not what I'm saying, okay? Don't go and accuse your mate of cheating, you guys. It doesn't automatically mean because you got BV or because you have a yeast infection that it is your partner's fault. So I want to make sure that I put that disclaimer out there so everybody understands what I just said. I just made somebody sweat because they're like, hold up. That's why I'm itching today? No. No. It can be a number of reasons, but a lot of times people don't understand how bacteria works, how the vagina works, how the penis works, how semen works, okay? How any of that works, how your vagina flora works, what your pH is of your vagina. A lot of times people don't know any of these things. If you like to wear those really pretty decorative lace underwear, don't wonder why it's always itchy and swelly and sweaty down there. Lace is made of a material that makes anything it touches sweat. While it has the little breathable holes, the material that makes it elastic so that it can fit makes you sweat. If you love to wear leggings, let's see who's on here. Out of the people that's on here, if you like to wear leggings, put a 1 in the chat. Leggings, workout clothes. If you like to wear leggings or workout clothes, put a 1 in the chat. Because y'all start taking this, that's why I want to ask. I know it's not just Octavia. Oh, okay. Okay. Leggings and workout clothes, while they are made of breathable material, they are still too close to the vagina for its liking. It literally makes the vagina perspire. And you know, okay, that bacteria loves to live on fabric. You wash your clothes, you put them in the dryer, they're nice and clean, right? You take them out of the dryer, you put them on your couch. You take them out of the dryer, you put them on your chair. You take them out of your dryer, you put them in your basket. You take them out the dryer at the laundromat where 9 million other people were using the laundromat dryer and table. You put it there, you go to fold it. Mind you, bacteria is around us everywhere. So guess what? That bacteria now lives in your fabric. Okay? Sweat and bacteria do not go together. For those of you that love to wear leggings, we know say no clean. Because elite family, my elite family, clean women. Clean. Okay? For those of you that like to wear thongs, we know say clean. Very. But there is no one on this planet that can tell me that when they take their leggings off, that their leggings are dry and not any form of perspiration is left in any of those leggings or their thong. No one can tell me that lie. If you tell me that that is the fact, you're lying. The only way you can tell me that it's dry is if you have on a panty liner. And even though the material on panty liners can throw off your pH. The materials on your pad can throw off your pH. The materials on your tampons can throw off your pH. Very simple. You're dealing with a delicate baby. You have to treat your vagina like a baby that was just born 2 hours ago. So delicate. You can't even think. You don't even want to wash them with water. Those of you that like to use these beautiful fingers right here and play around in your area and wash your area with these things right here, best believe this is the most germs that you carry on your body, right here on your hands. Germs is what? Bacteria. So you guys take my foolish advice. Take my foolish advice, you guys. While you can't be the safest at all times of the day, because there's no absolute way for you to do that. We are human beings. We live normal lives. We do things on a day-to-day basis. Be mindful what you put on and what you put around your vaggie. Because if she don't work, you're not happy. It is the one place on your body that when she's sick, you're sick. And when she's sick, there's nothing on this planet that you can do to make you feel better if she's sick. You cannot smile in people's face knowing that you got an itch. You cannot smile in people's face knowing that your front smell like dead fish. You cannot. When she's walking around and it feels like someone took a bar or dumbbell and they dropped it on your front, you don't feel good. That's how sensitive she is. It's like when your feet are hurting and you're at a party and all you can think about is your feet hurting. You can't think about nothing else. You're trying to do this. You're trying to move. You're trying to groove. And there's nothing you can do to make her feel any better. Who is this? Hello? Hey, Susan. That's fine. I do. Give me just one moment, okay? Oh, you guys, I'm gonna have to continue this live later on. My attorney's calling. I got to talk to her. I'll see you guys in the next live.